Hello everyone, my name is Rocco and welcome to today's reading. Today is July 28, 2016, and it's the Chinese Year of the Monkey. This means that this year has intelligence, humor, and grit, as well as that business intuition that monkeys are very known for having. So it's a fast year. Maybe it's not as lucky as last year because the goat in Chinese horoscope is a very lucky sign, very gentle, very feminine, very mystic, very spiritual, and therefore very lucky because it doesn't understand the practical aspect of life entirely, and for that reason, the universe grants her the best practical aspects for free in her life as healing of what is lacking in the person. So say if you are a very aggressive Aries, maybe life will give you a Libra to easy up your aggressiveness. And life will always give you what you need in that moment and what is corresponding to your needs of that time and of your soul always. That is a blessing from me to you, but it's also a spiritual truth. Why are we, or why is everyone that is more spiritual than others? Why are spiritual people or wizards, I was gonna say more, everyone, the more you put out, the more you receive, but why are wizards more facilitated and more bountiful in their blessings in this incarnation, whether they're spiritual, coming in form of knowledge, whether they're mental, coming in form of mental health and relaxational calmness, or whether they're material, coming in, say again, Doreen Virtue in abundance. I mean, she sold, I'm not sure how many million books. Speaking of angelic topics. And of course, there isn't a book that sold more than the Bible. So, today is a spiritual day when we remember that we can use spirit to harness our reality, and especially it's a day that brings out our intelligence and our talents, because the monkey has got a lot of talents and she can manage. So manage comes from Latin manus, which means hand. So you can put in your hand any branch. I mean, no matter which problem or difficulty, you know how to manage. You know where to put your hands to go above that tree. That is the Kabbalah tree of knowledge, and up top of it lays Archangel Metatron that connects you with the wisdom and refinedness of God's principle and unique source of life, perfect, already in its essence, and you just have not even have to drink it, you just have to let it flow within you, and you can go fill your cup anytime you desire to that source of life that is everlasting. Get this energy, connect, print out the sigils, seals of the archangels or fairies or any other angelic being, and put your hands, there's even esoteric seals of Mother Mary, put your hand on it and feel the energy that's coming to you. Is it powerful? Is it loving? And how does it impact your energy, and what does it give you? What does that contact or exchange give you, and why? So I want to shuffle today's deck, and I see that it's a very positive day. I'm not even given the time to shuffle. And a card has come out for you guys, and it is the wonderful card of the world. I'm going to put my fingers here so you see the four corners better. The four corners of this card are four holy symbols. One could also say different qualities of the four evangelists, even though here they're not physically present. But this card is very esoteric. Some of these symbols you see in churches too. So the world is where we are, what God created. In tarot, it means that when I see this card, it's the same. It's as if when I see the tower, I get desperate because it means destructions. I never get it anymore because I'm a wizard. But when it comes out for other people, I'm like, you know what? You need to change your life a little bit. That's what the tower brings as a message. That before God punishes you, even in the slightest form, such as you don't get that job, or they won't give you that raise in your salary. There's too many people queuing at the supermarket. You know, these little frustration thingies that get into your mind and never seem to leave you. The world, on the other hand, is total openness to life. Tarot is a journey from the Magician, card number 1, to the world, which is card number 21. And these 21 cards, you have started with action. The Magician means action, and you've come through, just like Dante says, in the middle of, I'm quoting the greatest Italian poet, in the middle of, my life, I found myself in an obscure woods, in an obscure forest. That's the, in Latin, incipit, the start of the Divine Comedy, the Hell chapter. So card number 15 in tarot is the Devil or Ego card. Same thing. Fear. You can call it Fear card if you prefer. When people talk well of the devil, always change the word devil with the word fear. And see how much sense what they're saying makes to you. And then you've had your difficulties, and then you've passed the dark night of your soul, the moon. You've seen the sun after it because you've understood the power of the light. You feel reborn through the judgment, reborn because you've chosen Christ. You identified with that breath, principle of life. Now you are a winner. You have the world. So it means good news from you, coming from the four corners, from light, from force or strength, from truth and from wisdom come into you, filling you up with light and love. Archangel Haniel is filling you up with her pink, impale blue, very dense energy, and the flower fairies are bringing you solace and wisdom. And may you be a light to others, whatever it is that you do for a living. Sometimes it just takes a little effort. Feed the poor, give money to people that are homeless. A lot of things you understand with time. I went to a church once, and they had it. What I found was I was with a friend, and we noticed that they had a box of offerings for the souls of purgatory, and we didn't understand what the value of that was. The value is that the nuns or priests, friars, perhaps, that take those offerings pray for the souls of purgatory, and then they don't even take that money, they give it to charity. But that the more money they find, the more times they remember that intention, that prayer intention, and the more we will pray for these souls to ascend to the light, which you can do through prayer, rosaries that are set on that intention, and so on. So the world is when you have everything you so desire. The card that comes in reality after is the zero card. A lot of people, well, you can imagine it before the Fool card, as you can place it before the whole major arcana part of the deck, and it means a leap of faith, so jumping into life. Believe in the illusion of materiality around you, but nevertheless being so crazy to want to experience it. Through your present incarnation, you were feeling so peaceful in heaven, and now you come down to this world, which is wonderful, but to realize a lot of the illusions that lay in it, and none of them you found where you came from and where you will go, hopefully, after the present reincarnation. And until you don't understand certain aspects, just like Buddha says, you keep reincarnating, and most people do that until you, in a way or another, come to nirvana. And nirvana isn't just, a concept, it's a reality. So the world is finally when heaven and earth in some way match, and your world is perfect and is spiritual, and you've learned everything that you could. And then the Fool card that you could place after, sometimes for deeper esoteric meaning, try to imagine the Fool, the zero card, as coming after. Well, zero can be placed everywhere and changes meaning, but usually it adds value only if you place it after the actual numbers. If you place it before the numbers, then it could have meaning but not value, or not entirely, or not as much. Okay, you place the Fool after, then the Fool signifies you have through the world come to everything you desire on the material plane, okay, especially, and you come to realize that you don't even need it. and you don't care. And this is how you keep it. Through realizing that you don't even need luxury. And this is how you obtain it, from detaching from the obsession of materialism and just thinking that you don't really need all these things because you have them already. So how could you need something that you already have? And this, again, I'm showing you the card already, and this positivity of today's card, you come to realize that was already in you, but you didn't know. So it's when you look at the mirror and say to yourself, wow, I've come this far. And God knows I deserve it. And the spiritual awakening and the psychological or mental, blessings and that wisdom that you've gained, certainly you need, but you had it already. You just need to be reawakened to it. Because once you were in heaven, you were given all this knowledge, but perhaps you didn't experience it enough in a physical body. Being in a physical body is an experience for the soul. So give your soul a good experience and take care of your body and of yourself. And today just relax and enjoy all the blessings that are coming to you. And know that because God is in you and the kingdom of God is in you, all you have to do is see in it. This way, when you know that the kingdom of God is in you, when the proverbial devil comes, just like in the temptation of Christ, part of the Bible chapter, and he offers to you the kingdom of the world, you realize that the kingdom of God is in you. And the world isn't in the hands of Satan, but it is in the hands of God. And the material world is also God's, and everything is God's. And once you come to the realization that the world is divine, you try to select the part of the world that is more real, and that is spirit. That is satisfactions that come from love. That isn't the sin of the incarnation that you live in, because that brings havoc. There's a sense of entrapment, like the ego, resentment, fear, problems. Choose God, and God will give you what you need. And the world is yours already to have. So go take it, because it's yours and it's your life. And God gave you this war to take on for what serves you to be happy while respecting everyone else in perfect democracy and perfect love and trust of each other. Why has America become the richest country in the world? Look at the dollar bill and notice how it says, "In God we trust," which is something that the forefathers of this great country always said. And God, of course, is with everyone in the world, not just with America. But by choosing that spiritual priority on something that is not entirely spiritual as money, like money, America, perhaps subconsciously, perhaps not, chose its grandness. And in God we trust, and God trusted America, and through this exchange we have the country with some of the greatest pastors, some of the greatest spiritualists, some of the greatest businessmen, some of the greatest healers, some of the greatest doctors worldwide. And it starts with $1 saved for God, and it builds up a nation that the world looks up to. So I want to leave you with that message, whether you're American or not, and God bless you. And slowly, before leaving you, I want to shortly call upon the Queen of Peace, Mother Mary, and pray to her that everyone in this world experiences peace, and everyone experiences peace of heart and peace of mind. Thanks to you, the one and only Queen of Heavens, the one and only Mother of God, the one and only soul that was conceived without the original sin and who never sinned, and therefore is a symbol of peace. And you too can be a symbol of peace too for others with her help. I hope that that is sinking into you, and may Mother Mary rejoice with you all day and bring you the peace that your heart desire, and that quenches every thirst, and that resolves and dissolves all problems, transmuting them into divine light for all to see and for all to thank the Creator and the prophets who brought his message. Ciao.